Hello, welcome to Mitch's Rant Time, the show where I talk and you listen. As always, if you are not a fan of vulgar language or adult language, my show has some. So feel free to stop watching or change whatever you're looking at. I'm not offended if you don't want to watch. I understand, but I just want to give you the warning. So on with the show. I wanted to talk about something that a lot of people seem to misunderstand, and that is what an atheist is. Now, a lot of atheists on YouTube or online or whatever have explained and have tried explaining. However, I just can't stop yawning. I don't know why, and it's pissing me off. Um, however, many times people still don't seem to get it. Like I said, I've seen a lot of YouTubers explain it, YouTube atheists explain it. I've seen a lot of people explain it in interviews on television, explain it in movies, but people still don't get it. And probably because a lot of the people who don't get it are people who listen to people like Alex Jones, who tries to tell them that atheists are actually ran by Satanists and have no idea what an atheist or a Satanist really are. So they just continue to make up bullshit, and people, of course, buy it because for some stupid reason they trust Alex Jones or people like him. Um, and It's just stupid. It's annoying. What an atheist is someone who does not accept any current theism, polytheism, or religious explanation or religious belief. They do not accept it. It doesn't mean they necessarily deny it or say it is not true. They just don't say it is. They say, well, I don't believe it's. They can say literally, I don't believe it's true. They don't say, I believe it isn't true. And there's a difference. There's a difference between rejecting a positive and accepting a negative. Now, there's a difference between that and an anti-theist. An anti-theist is someone who does accept a negative. Now, an anti-theist can also be an atheist. You can be an atheist who says, I don't accept your explanation, and I don't believe it's true. And those are two separate things. You're rejecting the positive and accepting a negative. You can be an anti-theist and an atheist at the same time. I feel, to a certain point, I am kind of an anti-theist. I used to think I wasn't. I kind of was for a bit. Used to think I wasn't, but honestly, I am. I do not. I believe that none of the current religious explanations are valid. I think they're all wrong. I see fallacies, and to me, fallacies prove that they're wrong. However, I don't know for certain, and that's agnosticism. So I am an agnostic, atheist, anti-theist. All three separate things. Now, many people conflate agnosticism with atheism. They say, oh, I'm an agnostic. Okay, well, that's great. I didn't ask you what you knew. I asked you what you believe. And atheism, to me, is not necessarily saying, well, I don't believe anything. You can be a true agnostic atheist and not be an anti-theist. You can be an agnostic atheist and say, I don't know. I don't accept any of the current things, but I don't accept anything. A true agnostic atheist. Or you can be agnostic atheist, anti-theist, which of course I'm adding a bunch of fucking words, but an agnostic atheist, anti-theist would say, I don't know, I don't accept what anyone says, but I also believe that they're all wrong. I don't believe that they're right. I believe that they're all wrong. I believe you're wrong. I believe that. And they say, well, why do you believe I'm wrong? And you say, I can point out fallacies. The fallacies in your religious doctrine. The fallacies in your own logic. I don't think you're correct. You're trying to tell me the earth is 6,000 years old. Or that you get 72 virgins when you die. You can't prove that. I don't believe that. I've never heard of anyone experiencing that. I think that's false. How can we prove that 72 people died enough to be virgins? Besides, what's the whole point? I think that that's false. I think that that's fake. I think it's impractical. I think it's improbable. I think that it doesn't work. I don't believe it to be true, and I believe it to be not true. And those are two different things. And those are two different terms. And the thing is, even anti-theists are not what else people conflate atheism to be with. They're not Satanists. And Satanists are people who believe that, who believe in kind of inner nature. They're kind of like the Sith in a way, not in the bad way, but they believe in strength and inner power and, doing. They're very much like the Sith. The Satanist is more of a Sith than an actual Satanist, an actual person who believes in Satan. They go by Satanist for whatever reason. But Satanists are not. They don't worship a devil. Wiccans kind of do, but Wiccans still more worship nature and different deities of nature than anything else. They're the ones that try to do witchcraft, kind of weird, but even then, they're not trying to defy a certain religion. They're practicing their own beliefs that has their own system. Atheists are not communists. Sure, communism was very, super anti-theist, not like most anti-theists where they I'm sorry, they personally think it's not true, but they actually try to enforce it. They were statist anti-theists, which is very wrong. And even socialists and fascists were also something like that. There's a difference. Communism was not necessarily atheist. Communism was mandated anti-theism. It wasn't saying, well, I don't accept what you say. It was mandated saying, you're wrong, and you have to agree with me. And that is wrong as well. That does not go along with the freedom of religion that we hold true to in our Constitution in the United States. Freedom of religion protects atheists, agnostics, and anti-theists in any combination just as much as it protects Christians and Muslims, and Jews, and Hindus, and Buddhists, and Wiccans, and pagans, and all the like. It's to protect everybody to believe what they want to believe and to not believe what they don't want to believe. Because the thing that's further, anyone who is a theist is by definition equally an anti-theist for this very reason. If you believe that Jesus died on a cross for your sins, and you believe that when you die, before you die, accept Jesus into your heart, that you will go to heaven, and that those that don't, that believe in different religions, will go to hell, you are equally an anti-theist. This is why. You believe that your religion is right, and theirs are wrong. An anti-theist does not, you are also an atheist too. An anti-theist is an atheist or a theist, excuse me. A theist is an atheist and an anti-theist to every other religion. The thing that they are not is an admitted agnostic. They are agnostic, but they are not an admitted one. They believe that they are right. They believe that they know. For certain, without a doubt. Agnostic atheist and agnostic anti-theist, or agnostic atheist, anti-theist like myself admit, I don't know for sure. Based on the evidence, based on everything I can see, what I can observe, the arguments given to me, the texts given to me, history, artifacts, everything that I can observe, this is not true. But as a Christian, Jew, Hindu, whatever, you believe you to be right and them to be wrong. That is anti-theism. That is atheism. So anytime you hear someone like Pat Robertson or Phil Roberts or Willie even, his son, or you hear Alex Jones or Rush Limbaugh or Glenn Beck or any of these conservatives like Mike Huckabee talk about atheism, talk about how it's anti-Christian to be an atheist, it's anti-religion, realize that he himself is an atheist and an anti-theist. Not that he's a sham, but that he believes that all other religions are wrong. And he doesn't accept any other religious belief but his own. There's nothing wrong with that. Just as there's nothing wrong with being an agnostic, atheist, anti-theist, like myself. Thought I'd explain that to you guys. Let you guys know that it's not what you think. A lot of people have a lot of misconceptions, and I'm pretty fucking tired of them. Excuse me. People have tried to explain what an agnostic atheist is. I felt I should go a step further and explain anti-theism as well. I'm also a secularist, which is also not a bad thing. Communists were not secular. They had an anti-theistic, a completely removed statist way of government, they didn't allow for freedom. Secularism allows for freedom. It is a way of keeping religion protected from the government and government protected from religion, which is something I very much believe in. I very much support that because I live in a community that has a lot of churches. I have a lot of family and friends, very close friends, people who I'm very, very close to, respect and love, and spend a lot of my life and hope to spend the rest of my life interacting with, who are religious. And I believe that their rights should be protected and that they should not be interfered with by the government, nor should their religious beliefs leak into government laws to interfere with us or anyone else. That's secularism. So there's nothing wrong with being a secular, agnostic, atheist unionist, anti-theist. I don't necessarily identify as a humanist. I do believe I'm humane, maybe humanitarian almost, but not a humanist, nor do I see myself as a pluralist. I do see myself as an egalitarian, libertarian, but those are things for other days. I've already explained libertarianism a bit, and one day I'll explain egalitarianism. So thank you guys for listening. Hope you guys liked it. Why don't you tell me what you think atheism or anti-theism or agnosticism mean to you? What do you think theism means to you? What do you think anything means to you? And we can talk about it. I talk about religious freedom and everything like that. I will be trying to do a little thing about the Constitution pretty soon. It'll be slightly offensive, but I hope it'll be funny. I actually talked to a hero channel of mine. My voice broke right there. You can tell I'm excited. About doing such a video series, and they were honest about it, but I still think I kind of want to do it. I'm not going to call it what I wanted to call it and ask them if I could call it, but I hope that they do what they said they might do, potentially, and I'm going to do what I want to do, and hopefully I can be kind of funny with it, or at least educational. That's what matters. So thank you for listening to me talking. As always, subscribe if you want to see more. I'm going to be working on other content as well. I'm going to try to get away from just being an annoying talking head with a kind of raspy-ish, nasally voice. I'm going to try to do some other things. I want to get back into gaming, and there's some other things I want to do. Like I said, other things in other videos, as always, in other videos. But thank you again for listening. Have a good night, and stay cool.